Good evening, I'm Charles Payne. Breaking news at this moment, Justice Department lawyers are getting ready to make their case to a panel of federal judges who will decide whether or not to restore President Trump's travel order. So the stage is set. The stakes, well, they are life and death. And ultimately, who has the power to determine who can enter the United States? It's all on the line tonight. Joining me at this moment, constitutional lawyer Troy Slaten. Troy, help us understand exactly what's going on here. All of a sudden, we're all having to become constitutional experts and to learn how to understand what's at stake tonight and ultimately what could be at stake.
It's quite simple, Charles, and thanks for having me. The issue before the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is very simple. It's not determining whether or not President Trump's executive order is constitutional. It's only deciding whether or not Judge Robart's decision from last Friday that puts a halt to the executive order stands.
Judge Robart has been criticized in one ruling, mentioned Black Lives Matter, also known to have done work with refugees, pro bono work for refugees. Does that in any way mitigate or dismiss him in terms of his qualifications to have an opinion on this?
Look, judges are human beings. They're not immune to political pressures, and like all other people, they have their political opinions. We hope that all judges, especially federal judges, can set aside their personal biases, their personal prejudices, and decide the issue on the facts and the law before them. And in my opinion, President Trump has broad, nearly plenary authority to decide issues of immigration, national security, and foreign policy. And those are all implicated in this order.
So what will inform to the decision that we probably will hear overnight or tomorrow morning? What ultimately decides how this goes?
It's whether or not Judge Robart exceeded his authority, whether he abused his discretion as a judge to issue that nationwide ban on President Trump's executive order. That's the only thing that they're deciding. This three-judge panel is not deciding whether or not the order is constitutional, whether President Trump exceeded his authority, or whether it's in the national interest. They're only deciding whether or not the stay of the ban, the restraining order on the ban, should remain in place, or whether it should be lifted while Judge Robart's court decides the issue on the merits.
Troy, no matter what happens tonight, will this continue? Will the loser of tonight's decision take it to the next level?
Absolutely. And the next level, Charles, is the United States Supreme Court. And we all know that the Supreme Court right now has only 8 members. That means it's possible to have a 4-4 tie. If there is a 4-4 tie, then whatever decision from the lower court, whatever decision from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals would stand.